What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and I'm gonna revisit obviously one of my most popular videos on my channel. That's Sacred Beast. I think the format was just so perfect for it at the time, and as I played it now, I tried taking in kind of the same deck for the most part, and it just wasn't the same, and that's because we have different formats. So it's gonna take some time for me to adjust, and what I'd like to do eventually is make a new deck profile and stuff like that. But let me show you some replays that I have as a reintroduction to what they can do. I'm going to be playing a bunch of mid-range decks, and then once I get this to a more comfortable place, I'm going to start placing against meta and see how it goes there. But without a doubt, there can be only one, for sure, one of the best cards of the format, in my opinion, now, as I've played more decks. Not that it was bad before by any means necessary, but I just feel like especially now when you're playing cards like Eldritch and you also have Zoo in the format, being so as good as it is, and then you can go down Drytron too. This card is, not every deck can play it, that's the issue, but this is certainly one that can. Look, I'm playing around it right now. I'm going to start destroying his back row. I just want to show you how, like, once the engine does get going, it just snowballs. Consistency does seem to be an issue, but I'm sure I will play a card, and I think I may have just played it there, and you guys didn't see it. But the new Pot of Disparity card, which will come up in at least one of these replays, is what changes everything, right? You just saw me use Allure of Darkness, which I've been using for a really long time, but I need that card. It was really just kind of keeping me going, so that's why I have it there. Now, this ended up working out, and Skill Drain is right back in the deck. It has to be. This is, again, a really, really good card in this format. It has its time, and I think it's now. Now more than ever does this card need to be on here. So here you go. I eat an evenly match right to the face. But I do keep the Skill Drain. That's how influential this one singular card is. And I got plenty to go here. I mean, I just started my plays, and I can just kind of redo exactly what I just did without the Sacred Beast Unleashed, which is totally fine. Get it called by the grave. I still have Skill Drain. I have an Ash Blossom in my hand now. He's got nothing. I'm going to go ahead and use Fallen Paradise. I'm going to draw 2 more cards, and now I have a Twin Twister and a Solemn Judgment with 3 Ash Blossom, which is pretty unfortunate on the draw, but that's totally okay. I really don't care about any of this on the field. That I'm definitely going to be Ash Blossoming, especially because I have 2 extra copies. He goes for the Cyber Rev system. I think he might be debating me, but he doesn't have anything. I have the Raigeki, a card that I think very well should be main decked as of right now, given the current format. There you go. That was my first matchup with Cyber Dragon. Here is another. And it looks like I'm going first. He does have 3 Gamma in hand with an Infinite Impermanence. We'll see how far I can get through without him stopping me here. He's going to go, I try to go for the Dark Summoning Beast, and he goes to Gamma me, but I do have the Ash Blossom, 400,000 IQ moves here, so I now know that I have to play around it, so a little bit of an eggy situation, but still, I made sure to put this in defense position in case he had Infinity. His Infinity would have done nothing even if he was able to go through it, and he would have had to go full combo to get through 4,000 attack. It's kind of a hard barrier to get through if you're playing pure Cyber Dragon sometimes. But now I have 2 Hamon on the field, which is really good. He does have the Gamma, and I knew that, right? I was quite aware, but I know I have Destruction Protection, which is the most important part. I can't be targeted now, so I don't mind putting these in attack position. He does have the Cyber Emergency. I go ahead and Ash that, so definitely seeing the control side. And this is a weird matchup, but again, shows the importance of cards like there can be only one. It really is the difference maker in this duel. Because I don't have anything. I bricked, right? I had a going second card here. These are cards that are definitely just going to be in your deck. This is a realistic opening. Not every card is a play starter. They kind of depend on themselves. But because I have it, I'm able to just stop this Dragonmaid player, one of the most popular decks going around the format right now. Certainly in the OCG, it's one of the most popular. He does end up getting one of his fusions on the field with that new, I don't think it's new, but Dragonmaid Cleanup is the talk of the town currently. Obviously, bouncing a card to the hand is very good, and these all have like bounce effects and stuff like that. Just right there, when it bounced back to the hand, he was able to destroy my Chaos Summoning Beast. But I still have There Can Be Only One. He didn't destroy it, he just sent it to the graveyard. And there is him using Pot of Disparity. I'm not sure if that's... I don't know what they have in their extra deck, but I feel like they need it. So, interesting take on Dragon Maids. Maybe this is standard, I'm not sure. But I think I saw an OCG video, or someone talked about the OCG today, and that was not on there. Well, it looks like this Dark Will of Namora is going to come in handy as long as I can draw into something. He does have the Ass Blossom. He's another one in his hand. Little do I know, I'm just playing defensive until I can either get the Dark Beckoning Beast or the, there you go, Opening Spirits. And I have the answer for his negate. It's unfortunate that he had another Ash Blossom, but still, this card is so important in the deck. I'm just going to be able to still go into my Hamon, and because this is in the graveyard, I can still start negating his effects. He's not going to bounce it anytime soon. I can't attack this turn anyway, so I really don't care. And now every time he summons, I'm going to be able to gain life points. And sooner rather than later, I'm going to have Raviel on the floor, which is a skill drain, and I have a spell or trap negate with the There Can Be Only One. Pretty good, right? I would say that's a decent and board state. Unless they have Lightning Storm or something, then I'm going to be doing a lot of work. This is a fairly simple opening, but wicked powerful. So I'm going to get the draw 2, and I draw into all 3 of my There Can Be Only Ones. And there's Pot of Disparity. I don't think I need to use it in this deck, but sometimes you really need to get your play started. So it's worthy of being a brick drawn in the hand versus a hand trap the majority of the time. Playing with Dolces, who are notorious for spamming the field, but unfortunately for him, I think Fairy, yep, they're all fairies in the extra deck, and he also can't even go into any of these because one of these is a warrior. So it looks like it's not an issue for There Can Be Only One, and I was kind of sweating it, but then I realized you can't just go into the extra deck. There Can Be Only One is a weird ruling. Uber powerful card. I think it shows up in the majority of my wins here. And here's a control matchup between the two of us. Again, I told you I like Dark Hole and Raigeki. Since he searched the trap card, I know he definitely has a Subterra Fiendus in his hand. I'm going to negate it out. He's going to be forced to. Luckily for me, I do have that Raigeki, so his trap is essentially offline now. Did have the Ash. I was going to send the Dark Summoning Beast to the graveyard, and what are you going to do? He ends up having a Torrential Tribute, which he's going to go ahead and fire off. I kind of saw it coming. I don't know if I should have walked into it or not. But here's Pot of Disparity. I'm going to try to get something to get my plays going. Preferably a Spirit Unleashed, but I didn't get it. But I do, for next turn, have the Dark Beckoning Beast. So I have a follow-up. I'm not really too worried about an OTK. I don't think he's playing the Numeron build of this. He is absolutely not. Looks like he's playing Super Poly, that's for sure. I don't know why you'd run 2 of those things, but hey, what are you going to do? And here, my plays are all just going to be started. This is going to flip this face down. I'm not sure what that does for him in any case. But instead of just going for the 2 Sacred Beasts, I think it's more important for the Cerulean Sky Fire. I know he's playing a back row based deck, right? And he's going to try to go into Trap Tricks. I can't attack this turn anyway, so I'm going to be playing conservative. And being able to draw a few cards, what do you know? Very good effect. And every single turn, I'm going to be able to just continue this little engine here. It's unfortunate that Harpy's Feather Duster is unbanned, right? Because obviously be pretty good right now. And now that I have these 2 on the field, I have a pretty good thing going here, being that this deck is entirely based on back row. And he only has 1 now, right? He's only going to be able to draw into so much. And he has the Ice Dragon's Prison, but because I have Cerulean Sky Fire, and even if he does make it leave the field, I'm not taking damage. So again, I'm feeling okay. I'm going to go ahead and negate that. And this, look how sick this is. I can obviously change my battle position once per turn. So this ends up being a double negate. This is not a once per turn, right? Once per turn while you control an attack. So if you have multiple Cerulean Sky Fires, you can keep negating, which is awesome. It's a really good card. I just have 2 more duels. I think this one's short. I just wanted to show how quickly you can protect yourself and just basically put a stranglehold. So he's got a pretty good opening here. He's got a lot of 1-ofs, that's for sure. I'm going to be able to summon both of these, and I'm going to have that skill drain effectively on the field. And this is just inherently the problem with trap cards, right? This is a great card, but he's going second, not so much. He does have the mind control, but he can take control of the Salamangreat Almirage if he wants. I'm going to go ahead and fire off the effect because why not? He does have the call. He's going to negate that, but all right. I mean, now that I know if you've wasted 2 hands, I feel pretty confident you're not doing so hot. I go ahead and get rid of that. I think he, off the top, ripped this Solemn Strike. But I still have the There Can Be Only One. I still have a Skill Drain just waiting on the floor. So he basically had nothing to do. Probably felt pretty confident about his hand at the time as well. Here's Dinosaurs. This is the last duel I'll show you. This is probably the most meta-relevant deck that I have. So here we go. Like I said, you're not always going to open perfect. So having this card and being able to dig into the 7 spirits is so important. But I already opened it, right? So I didn't really rip off anything too great off the top. What I'm hoping is that he's going to start summoning, and I'm going to be able to activate Awakening of the Sacred Beast. Not the case. He was able to get the Dino Wrestler Pinkertops. So I'm praying for nothing but an OTK. This card can't attack directly. So once I see that, I kind of breathe easy. He got into a lot of his hand traps a little too much. No monsters are going to get flipped down on my watch. I'm going to be able to summon twice here. I can't attack, but that's okay. I'd rather go for the control, right? Because I have the Sacred Beast Awakening. Summoning Sickness sinks, obviously. It's the worst part about the deck. And in hindsight, it's a very unnecessary part of all of it. But I do draw into the Cerulian Sky Fire. I do get the Opening of the Spirits, even though I technically don't even need it. Although what I'll end up doing most likely, if he continues, is just get to the second version. The second Cerulean Sky Fire that I can use if I want to. But once he realizes that he can't activate any of his effects, this is all useless. And I'm just going to be able to keep drawing cards. And if he tries to use Double Evolution Pill, I'm going to be able to negate that. I'm not going to let that happen. So yeah, that was a decent look of Sacred Beast in 2021. Still good. Still a decent matchup against any deck. And as I morph the deck for this format, I will let you guys know and look forward to that deck profile. I may actually do an in-person deck profile. I don't see why not. A few cards would really just be flipped here and there. But it's still really fun. Great little deck. And let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it for today. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.